Hi there, my name is Glenn Berkliff and you are here to learn about time management and how you can become a time management ninja. Whoa! Time management can help you free up more time, reduce your stress, and get your critical tasks done, as well as you being able to take a break, because you deserve it. I hope you did set aside time to watch this video, because it's gonna be critically important to you. If you only have 1 minute, this video is not going to help you solve all of your time management problems, because all the good stuff comes after 1 minute. We all have busy lives, and hey, you may have accidentally clicked this particular video. But anyway, stick around because I promise this will be good for you. And if you do only have this 1 minute, which is now very likely up, save this video so you can watch it later. Time management is the most common challenge that leaders are faced with today. There even seems to be an entire culture around the act of being busy, and even leading to some people giving you a higher status if they feel you are a very busy person. You must really be important because I never see you have any time. Forbes magazine even confirmed and concluded this in 2017, although that study was mainly focused on Americans. I would love to talk more about the details in the Forbes study, but we seriously don't have time for that. So let's move on. First, you really must get your priorities straight. I am glad that you are choosing to prioritize watching this video, because this video will actually help you and you will learn how to apply habits in your day-to-day life so you can become that time management ninja. Stay. At the start of the day, try and identify the most important tasks that you have to get done today. I get it? You are now sitting there thinking, well, duh, how am I supposed to do that when I am here to learn how to do time management? Here's some help for you. The urgency importance matrix is something that can get you started. So take your daily 10 items or more if you consider that 10 items is not busy enough for you, and start plotting them into the matrix. The more important the task is, the higher up it goes, and the more urgent it is, the more to the left it goes. But you must understand if it's urgent or non-urgent. The easy way to figure this one out is what has deadlines and what doesn't have deadlines. If your boss asked you to deliver something tomorrow, then it's pretty urgent and you need to get it done today. So it goes into the do quadrant. If tasks are important but not urgent, for example, the task only needs to be delivered next week, then you can use the act of scheduling. Set aside time to get it done. You simply go into your calendar, find an available slot, and block that time and write down what action you need to take. Don't just block the time in your calendar without a description to remind yourself. This could be things like an upcoming presentation, doing some data analysis, or to set aside time for yourself to brainstorm ideas for your next quarter goals. All of those items, throw them into the scheduling quadrant. You see where I'm going with this? So, urgent but not important tasks are things that needs to be done now, but they're not really critical for you to do. It could be things that are of low complexity, something that's not directly related to your overall goals. But hey, someone must get it done. Here is where you use your power of delegating to some of your team members. You delegate the task after who will be able to fulfill it the best, but remember, the task that you're delegating should also be able to help them develop their skills further. This is what leadership is all about, developing others to become better versions of themselves. There are a lot of traps here for you though. You may be afraid that your team member is not good enough to complete the task or do it right. That feeling stems from your lack of trust in your team. And hey, this typically comes around because you haven't really spent enough time to develop your team. But I guess maybe you just didn't have enough time for that. Maybe put that action in your do list. Come to think about the fear of delegating, you might just be a control freak. No, it's mine. I need to do this. I am the only one who can do this right. Like you are the only one you think who can do this right? Or you might sit there and think, well, I'm better than everybody else. That is a whole different topic, and we don't really have time for that. So let's move on to the eliminate quadrant. This is all the stuff that is neither urgent, not important. It might be the things that you've said yes to because you thought, hey, that sounds fun, but seriously, you really don't have time for that. I get that in the early days of your career, when you're younger, it might be good for you to say yes to a lot of things, to try things out and see what you like to do. But eventually, you must adopt a different approach. It was Warren Buffett who said, really successful people say no to almost everything. What it means is that they are just razor focused on what brings the most value for them to spend time on. They have their priorities straight, even for things like coffee meetings, new leads, attending an event, collaborating on something with others, and more. Everything that's neither urgent or important, erase it. Throw it into the bin and move on to doing, scheduling, and delegating. Delegating is a whole huge topic in itself, but right now we really don't have time to go into detail. You might sit there thinking right now, hey Glenn, that was way more than just one thing. You said that I must prioritize. Technically what I said was, you need to prioritize your to-do list. I just chose to sprinkle in a little bit of additional information in there, just for you. A quick tip for you regarding a to-do list, by the way, you must write it down. Our brains were created to generate ideas, not necessarily to store them. So put it down on a piece of paper and strike everything out when you have completed it. If you're enjoying the content so far, please tap that little like button below this video. I hear it helps the algorithm on YouTube share this content to a bigger audience. And I would personally really enjoy if you spent 1 second, just a little tap. That's all it takes. If you choose to subscribe and hit that notification bell, you will also get more content like this in the future. Thank you. Wow, we almost wasted 15 seconds on that short infomercial. Now, let's get back to the content. Secondly, you have to try and manage your time effectively. So, through the prioritization and putting all your to-do list items into the 4 different quadrants, you now actually need to set aside time to do the things. This is where a couple of practical time management tools can help you. The simplest one is your calendar. You know those areas in your Outlook calendar or another calendar that's empty where you don't have anything scheduled? Yeah, slot it in there and write what it is that you need to do from your scheduling list or from your do list. The do list should be done today though. Your scheduling one, make sure you plot it in. The beauty of the calendar is that it pops up and reminds you what's next. Just remember that when that reminder pops up, you need to be committed to do the task that you have given yourself. Remember, this is not anybody else who gave it to you. It was you. So commit to the act of completing the task when the time comes. If you don't do that, you probably have commitment issues, but that's a whole different topic to discuss, and definitely not in this video because we don't have time for that. My commitment to you was to teach you about time management, not commitment management. But here's a bonus tip for you. You must really learn how to say no and to avoid distractions when those little pop-ups come to you. So put away your phone. Those notifications are purely a distraction for you anyway. Also, tell your team that you're working on something important and you cannot be disturbed for the next hour or so. While saying do not disturb, you also have that feature probably in some of the tools like MS Teams, Slack, Outlook, anything like that. You can say do not disturb. And to focus even more, you can even close down your email tool or some of the other communication tools while you're working on the task that you need to get done. It is all about eliminating distractions. And it doesn't work if you continuously have a pop-up on your email that says there's a new email, because you may get tempted to read it. And as we've already established, you don't have time for that. It is also very critical that you don't take on more tasks when you still have a lot on your to-do list. If you're piling up with tasks on your to-do list and it really stretches you, this is where you need to go in a conversation with your leader about getting additional resources. Getting all the things done can be complicated. So there are also apps that can help you. There are to-do lists on whiteboards, and as we already talked about, put it down on paper. You can even have these small cards in front of you where you Remember, strike out the things that you're done with. If you are still with me, you may feel like you need a break right now. And that is fortunately the next tip. So you could pause this video right about now, take a 5-minute break, and then come back. Don't worry, sometimes we need breaks.
A few moments later.
Breaks are important to avoid burnout and recharge your batteries. I'm not talking about you taking weeks of vacation in one go, but I am talking about you incorporating small breaks into your schedule. Take a walk around the office for a few minutes. Sit in a different area of the office just to sit and relax for a while before you go back to your to-do list. Taking breaks helps you stay productive and focused throughout your day. And no, I did not say take a lot of 45-minute breaks, but several 5-minute breaks can be helpful for your ability to stay focused and getting things done. We just don't have time to take a long nap. So let's move on to my final suggestion. You must review and adjust as you go along. If something is not working for you, it is okay to adjust it. Be okay with changing it, as this will continue to improve your skills and enable you to reach your goals more effectively. I actually have a video on continuous learning that you can see right here, if you have the time. If not, schedule it for later and put it into that important but not urgent bucket. Time management is a critical skill for any leader. These practical steps will help you prioritize a task, schedule them, delegate them, and help you manage better, while you also incorporate those small, well-deserved breaks in between, so you can be content and happier as a leader. My name is Glenn Burkleff. This is Glihago. Thank you so much for spending your time with me today. We did not have a lot of time. Yikes!